Girl's demand for an odd gift on her birthday triggers an unexpected reaction from her dad. Kelsey was going to turn 13 in a few days. No need to say, like every other little girl, she was also very excited about her birthday. As her birthday was special, she decided to make it more special by getting some changes in her look. It was going to be a perfect birthday for her. At least that is what she thought. She had demanded only one gift from her mother, but the price she paid for that was beyond anyone's imagination. The cost was too much to bear for a young girl like Kelsey. Kelsey Friedrich was going to enter a new phase of her life. The girl was soon going to turn 13. Soon to be a teenager, Kelsey had a special wish on her birthday. No need to say that the girl was very excited about her birthday. Her parents had split up, so the girl used to celebrate her birthday both with her father and mother separately. As this birthday was very special for her, she wanted to do something different. No doubt the girl was going to have a big party, but apart from that, Kelsey wanted her 13th birthday to be very memorable. However, little did she know that her birthday was indeed going to be very special, but in a way that she had never imagined. She thought of arranging a sleepover with her good friends. Well, the birthday was going to be extra special given her mother was financing her to get highlights on her hair. For the first time, she was going to put highlights on her hair. A lot of people in her school were getting highlights, and so she too decided to have one. Finally, the day arrived. She went into the salon and came out with highlights that made her hair look even more beautiful. The hairdresser had given her hair the perfect look. She could not wait to show off her new hairstyle in front of her friends and family, and especially her father. She was headed over to her father's home. Kelsey is not the only one who has two families. There are many young people who have their parents separated, and many of them get their childhood torn between both their parents. However, that was not the case with Kelsey. She got to spend equal time with both of her parents. Kelsey would spend her each weekend with a different parent. She had adapted to the different lives of her parents. Kelsey spends a big part of the time playing baseball games whenever she is at her dad's. Her two younger brothers too would get in the group. She had a very good bond with both of them. And as far as her bond with her mom is concerned, they were like best friends. Kelsey would share everything with her. Kristen would always encourage her to take new steps. Thanks to the supportive nature of Kristen, Kelsey never felt the need of holding secrets from her. And that is why Kelsey turns to her mom for help when her life falls apart. But how her mother reacted to that really made the girl happy. The girl was close to her dad too, but that was not the same with him. Maybe because her father remained too busy with his work, so he could not get enough time to listen to his daughter's story. She felt more connected to her mom, and that is why she used to stay with her mother more than her father. Kelsey saw her parents Shafin and Kristen splitting up when she was just a kid. Initially, it was difficult for her to face the fact that her parents were not going to live together anymore. But with time she accepted the truth. However, she sometimes missed having a big family like her friends. However, her parents never let that get to her. Kelsey loved sports. She had got herself involved in many sports since her childhood. The sports were more like an escape for her. At the time her parents divorced, she kept herself engaged with sports. Her parents too provided her with all the supports and tried to not to let their divorce affect her life. Screenshot 61. Kristen and Shafin ended their relationship amicably. That is why they were still friends. Both of them knew that this was important for them to have a good relationship for the sake of their daughter. They even came up with a set of rules along with guidelines that both decided to follow while raising Kelsey. One thing more that they used to do to make their daughter happy. They had made it a point of visiting Lake Erie with their daughter every month. Kelsey would wait for that day every month. Kelsey's father found new love in his life after a few months of divorce. The woman was his colleague at the fire station. When Kelsey came to know about it, she had no objection with that. In fact, she took a liking for her dad's new girlfriend. The duo soon got married at the local courthouse. Even though they decided not to go for a grand lavish ceremony, they planned to dress up for the celebration. Kelsey was extremely happy as her father had found his new love. Kristen seemed to be fine with Shafin's new wife. Kristen's only concern was her daughter. Everything seemed normal and happy until Kelsey decided to go for that highlights in her hair. No need to mention, with the marriage of her father, many new changes had come in her father's life. Kelsey totally understood it. Kelsey was a strong girl thanks to the strong women around her. Her Aunt Kelly came across as someone standing up for her rights to Kelsey that really influenced her. And also her grandmother Haley Ann made a remarkable impact on her. The presence of these amazing figures in her life had made her only stronger. Their fascinating stories imbued confidence in her. Both of her parents lived in Fostoria, Ohio. They did not stay not very far from each other. As they used to live in proximity, they decided to make her birthday special. And they indeed make her birthday unique, but not in a good sense. Choosing a perfect gift for a teen girl is quite challenging, especially for someone like Kelsey, who had seen a lot in her childhood. Moreover, her hobbies were quite different from the girls of her age, so clearly her parents were still in doubt about what to give her. Kelsey was fine with any kind of gift, but there was one thing that she had a big no for. It was glitz. She was not someone one could call girly girl. So, she made only one request. She hoped that whatever gift her parents were planning was not too sparkly or pink. In order to narrow down to the best gift for her, Kristen decided to take help from her friends and family. Kelsey had a keen interest in playing softball. She had all the equipment needed for the sport. What else did she like? She enjoyed fishing. She would go on fishing with her cousins, but that would be odd to gift fishing gear to her during the party. Kelsey always wanted a Mia Hamm jersey. They wanted to give it to her, but they were way too expensive. Unfortunately, both her parents could not afford it. They got to think of something that would be pocket-friendly. Kristen could not believe that her daughter was going to enter a new phase of her life. She had no idea how these 13 years flew by. Her sweet little baby was turning 13. As it is common in Kelsey's age kids, she liked experimenting with her hair. She would also do makeup with her friends. For obvious reasons, the girl loved attending weddings, which would give her the opportunity to do makeup. Kristen was well aware of Kelsey's affection for makeup. However, she did have no idea what Kelsey was going to demand for her birthday. Kelsey told her mother, "Mom, I want to get highlights for my 13th birthday." The little girl was willing to style her hair with blonde highlights. Kristen did not see this coming. The request seemed ordinary, but Kristen doubted if her wish to get highlights on her hair sprung out of the lack of confidence. Was she not confident about the way she looked? Kids of her age often find their confidence depleting as they began to give more importance to their looks. This really bothered Kristen. But at the same time, Kristen remembered that she too had got highlights on her hair before Kelsey was born. Maybe that's what had influenced her. There was nothing to worry about. Kristen gave Kelsey her permission. She was glad that she could fulfill her wish. Kelsey was not only a great daughter but also an amazing big sister to her 3 younger brothers. There was no way Kristen was going to strike down her beloved daughter's only wish on her birthday. Mom and daughter bonding session. Kristen knew which salon to choose for that. The woman used to get her hair done in a particular salon for many years now, and the salon services also included pedicures, manicures, and massages. Kelsey for sure was going to love it. As Kristen had a good acquaintance with the salon staff, they even gave them a good discount. So, both mom and daughter got matching pedicures and manicures. It seemed perfect. Now the only thing remaining was putting highlights on Kelsey's hair. Everything seemed to be on track, and after about an hour, Kelsey's hair was finally ready. So what do you think the reaction of Kelsey was when she saw herself in a mirror? Kelsey looked at herself in the mirror and could not take her eyes off her beautiful hair. Those highlights had completely changed her look. Even Kristen could not believe that it was her daughter. She looked stunning. The highlights were totally going with her face, and that big smile on her face made her look prettier. Well, if you think that was all, there was one more surprise awaiting Kelsey. After getting her hair and nails done, Kristen took her to a store to get her makeup done, as she loved doing it. Can you guess which store did they go to? Kristen took her to Sephora, makeup superstore. Kelsey was looking like a princess. Kristen took a picture of her and put it on Facebook in order to show Kelsey's new look to her family and friends. Kelsey was growing impatient to show off her new hairstyle to her pals. But before meeting her friends, she had to visit her dad first. It was the weekend and she had to spend this one with her father. Her father too had planned to give her lots of gifts. She wondered what her dad was going to gift her. Next stop is Dad's place. Kristen and Kelsey got into the car and steered to Chaffin's place. They had decided to stay there for a whole weekend. Kelsey was going to live with her father for the whole weekend. As Kelsey used to spend more time with her mother, she would stop using the phone or anything to make most of the time she spent with her father. Kristen dropped back home after dropping her to her dad's house. However, she began to feel strange. She felt as if something was seriously wrong. Kristen knew that everything was in place, but still she felt as if something was not right. 2 days had passed by and she had heard nothing from Kelsey. She knew Kelsey stops using the phone when with her father, but still, she felt as if this time the reason was something different. However, today was finally the day she was going to see her daughter again. Then she heard a doorbell. Someone is ringing their doorbell. She rushed to the door to unlock it, and when she opened the door, she could not believe who was standing before her. There was a girl with a swollen and puffy face standing at her door. The girl was crying, and more than that, there was some other problem too. It was only after a second she realized it was Kelsey. This was unexpected. Many questions formed in Kristen's mind. Why was Kelsey crying? Did she have a fallout with her stepmom? Who did it to her? Kristen was all surprised. She figured that there was something very wrong with her hair. Her hair looked nothing like the last time she had seen her. In fact, now she had short hairs. All her highlights and long locks were gone. What had happened at Kelsey's dad's house? Horrible haircut. Only a cursory glance on her hair could reveal that they were butchered. A professional hairstylist confirmed Kristen's doubt when she remarked, "What they did to that poor child. It's a chop-off. It's a boyish cut with no styling whatsoever." Kelsey refused to see anyone while holding her face in her hand. She had never felt so ashamed before. Kelsey, who had always stayed confident in her entire life, was now having trouble to speak to her mother. Clearly, her self-esteem had shattered to pieces. Kristen tried to make her speak, but Kelsey was too in shock to say anything. Well, now Kristen had only one way to figure this all out. She hopped in her car and drove over to Kelsey's father's place. Kristen was fuming with rage. She stormed in the house and started shouting at her ex-husband and his fiancée Sarah. She asked them why did they do it to her little daughter, and before taking any step, why did they not ask her? She learned that Kelsey's father did not like her new hairstyle. In fact, they hated it so much that they chopped her hair off. According to them, girls of her age should not go for highlights. They believed actions have consequences. Kristen just could not take it. She had to show them that indeed actions have consequences, and so she went straight to the cops. The chief recalled, the mother was upset at how her child was being cared for. The haircut was done against the child's wishes under the direction of the girl's father and stepmother. There was no smile on her face now. What was expected to be one of the best birthdays of her life turned out to be a nightmare. Kristen was still not done with that. They had done a heinous task and now they had to pay for it. She decided to humiliate him further by putting the story of his deed on Facebook. She wanted them to realize the mistake they had committed, and Kristen had never imagined while putting the post online that it would reach so many people in such a short span of time. And those who came across the photos and her story could not hide their astonishment at the reaction of the father over such a small issue. They all were standing with Kelsey and her mother. Okay, to put it precisely, the post got shared 24,000 times and was reacted on 33,000 times in a matter of a week. The netizens condemned Chaffin and his fiancée's action openly. Kristen was getting support from every corner of the world. It was way more than she had expected ever. Furthermore, people living thousands of miles away from them were voicing their support for Kelsey and Kristen. Many people called it disgusting and ridiculous. One of the supporters commented, "What a cruel thing for a parent to do to their child. So sorry that happened." Beautiful no matter what, Kelsey was still very embarrassed. She did not want to go to school. She doubted everyone in the school would make fun of her hair, especially after the post went viral. Now everyone knew about her. Everyone forgot about it after a while. Her father and his family got back to their old routine. Her brothers were back to school, but Kelsey was still stuck there. No matter how much tried, she could not forget the incident that pricked her heart every now and then. Whereas some people considered Chaffin an impulsive and controlling father, there were some who alluded to different possibilities. One of the commenters explained, "I think the daughter was unfortunately in the middle of a get back at you between both parents fighting." Could it be true? Did Kristen do it purposely? Jennifer McVeigh, Pear Tree Salon hairstylist, said, "Your hair is what really makes you feel good. If your hair looks good, you feel good." She had beautiful long hair. That beautiful little girl is now walking around embarrassed. She added, "Another person, aside from the father, is at fault, the one holding the scissors." But back to the father, why would they want to humiliate their daughter that way? That was crossing a fine line. It would be logical to say that people had different opinions on the matter. Some admitted that they too would get angry if their daughter would go for a makeover without telling them. But there was no way a parent would behave so irrationally. Some said that the decision of dyeing hair at such a young age was bad. Some opined that dyeing of hair was not a big deal as it was temporary. What infuriated everyone the most was the reaction of the father. Kelsey too received lots of heartwarming messages. Some even shared ways by which she could make her hair look good. Many people told her that they were standing with her. As the incident had reached many hearts, Christine decided to do something about it. She decided to raise funds through GoFundMe. She requested readers to donate some funds so that Kelsey could have a new hair treatment. However, it was just a shot. She did not know if that would work. Kristen was totally taken aback by the donation made by people. Kristen got overwhelmed by the support, so she took a step to update the page. She updated the events and many other things that were happening in Kelsey's life. She said that the girl is getting out of the trauma and has started doing things that she enjoys. Kelsey was getting back to her normal life. Kristen posted a picture of her playing softball with her cousins during all this while she was having that hairdo that she despised the most, but there was nothing she could do about it. To some, the little girl emerged as an inspiration, but if you think that was the end of Kelsey's story, then you are wrong. There was one more twist left. There were some people who thought of this incident to be a case of parental abuse. Now the story had authorities involved in it too. Fox 8 broadcasted the case and even interviewed Colby Carroll, the police chief. They showed how Kelsey was forced to get a haircut as a punishment. The police officer said, "I've been doing this since '92 and I've never had a case I would say that's like this." So the authorities finally went to see Chaffin. Consequently, the couple got suspended from their duties at the Middletown Township Fire Department. As they were no longer working now, the couple was put on administrative leave. Not only that, an investigation too was initiated against them that culminated into local judges commanding them to pay a price. There was more to it. The authorities gave the full custody of Kelsey to Kristen. After 5 hours of testimony and evidence provided by both parties, the magistrate's decision was for Kelsey to live with Mom and her siblings. She added further, "A huge weight has been lifted off of everyone's shoulders and we cannot be any." Although Kelsey was happy that her full custody was given to her mom, there were a lot of her favorite things that got left at her father's house. After the incident, Kelsey did not want to see her father again, as she knew seeing him again would bring back all those memories that she struggled so hard to forget. So, she decided to not to go back there. Though she missed her belongings, there was no way she was going to get back there. She felt a little sad, but it did not last long thanks to her Aunt Kelly. Aunt Kelly took to the GoFundMe to collect fund enough for her to lead a normal life. Although everything was okay now, Kristen and Kelsey still felt bad. Now Kelsey would never meet her father. The relation had only worsened. However, she rejoiced once again when learned that people were showering their love on her by donating money. Aunt Kelly had kept the target to $1,000, but much to the surprise of everyone, the amount raised was double of that. So what were they going to do with the amount? Well, the amount was going to be used in fixing her hair. They went for Lady Jane's salon to get her hair back to its former beautiful self. The staff there already knew about her. The girl got greetings from a welcome committee the minute she entered the place. The staff asked her what she wanted and how she wanted to style her hair. The girl was well aware that it was going to take a while for her hair to grow as long as they were earlier, so she decided to go for a wig. She felt very happy to see so many people showing their support.
Kelsey's mom thanked everyone who supported them. "I'd like to thank the ladies for making my baby feel more like herself. We truly appreciate you ladies so much." Seeing her parents splitting up is itself a big trauma. Kelsey not only survived that, but was also putting up with it. The girl had shown courage from the very beginning. That is why it was no wonder the girl managed to face the brutality shown to her on her birthday by her own father.